Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage. It's time to reassemble the engine for the Lada Niva. I got all the parts. I have done a lot of cleaning off camera because it's boring, and also I am in a bit of, like always, I know I'm saying that a lot, but I would like this to be done rather quickly because I'm having a project coming in hopefully next week that could end up blocking my lift for quite a long time. I don't really know how much work it's going to take, but I know that it has been standing still for 25 years or 22 years, I think. So that car could be standing right there for a long time. That means it would be really nice to get the engine back in the Lada Niva because it's standing outside there. It's a bit in the way to get the other car in. And also, if I don't fix it now, it can take a long time. So I'm in a bit of a hurry. I've checked everything over and everything seems pretty good. This is not a proper rebuild. It's a quick rebuild because really I should maybe take the valves out of the cylinder head and lap them in and all that. But I'm pretty sure this engine has been rebuilt really recently and it was running perfectly until that oil pressure issue arrived. So I'm just going to rebuild it. I got a new crankshaft right here. This is apparently for the 1700, but as far as I know, it's the same. It might make the engine slightly more smooth because the counterweight are maybe slightly heavier, but I think it will be just fine. Or it will, because this part number is listed for the 1600 on many pages, so it will be just fine. To begin with, I'm going to install the new camshaft with new bearings and measure out the clearance. It's all new, so it should be all right, but I would like to check the in-play and the bearing clearance. Okay, so with all the bearings now tightened up, or the bearing caps are tightened up to spec, I'm not done yet, but this is the first task. I could have measured the clearance already now, but I like to tighten everything down. And now I'm going to make sure that the crank actually spins freely. Then I'm going to check the end float. Then I'm going to take all the caps off again and put some plastic gauge in to check the clearance. But let's see if the crank is able to spin. Oh yeah. Really smoothly. Oh, that's nice. That's really lovely. So the end play is the amount of play the crankshaft can go in and out. That is what we are going to check now. So with 2 screwdrivers fitted and ready to push on the crankshaft to try to push it one way and then the other way, I will be able to measure the end float right there. I want to see between 0.6 to 26 or 0.26 millimeters. That's the specs at least. So I'm getting that to around 0.15, which is perfect within spec, so that's good. So with the end play within spec, I can remove this thing. This was really lucky because I didn't order anything to correct it if it was out of spec, so that was really nice. It's within spec, that's great. Now I'm gonna take off the caps once again to measure the clearance on the new bearings. I suspect them to be perfect because it's a new crankshaft and it's new bearings, but still, you never know, so I'm just gonna check them. And then I'm gonna remove all the caps. Clean the surface. I know it feels silly to put oil on to take it off, but this is the way I do it. And then I'm gonna put a tiny blob of grease on. This is just to keep the plastic gauge in place. And then I'm gonna take a piece of plastic gauge. This is a piece of plastic. When I put that on the bearing and put the bearing cap on, it will squash it. And then I can take it off and measure how wide the plastic gauge is squashed, and then I can actually find out what the clearance is and if the bearing is uniform and all that. So that's pretty clever. So I'm gonna do that on all of them, and then we're gonna torque it down once again. There we go. It's on all of them, and I'm gonna put the bearing cap back on and torque it. Yep. And then we're going to take them all off again. So there we go. We now got a blob of pink stuff. At first glance, it looks like it's the same size all across, which is good because that is supposed to be the case. Then I got this plastic gauge thingy. Now I just need to find the corresponding or thereabout size on this one. This one is 0.050 actually. 0.0 slightly over, so that's also the same and the same and the same. They are perfect within spec, which they are supposed to be. It's a new crankshaft and it's new bearings, so great. I'm gonna clean everything up now. Clean the stuff off, clean the plastic gauge off, re-grease it, re-torque it, and then we are done with the crankshaft. So next up, it's the pistons, and it's very important to put them in the right position and with the same bottom end. You cannot just swap these around, of course. I think you all know that. It was new to me when I rebuilt my first engine. But also, especially on this one, it's important to fit this one the right way as well because it's offset. I think you can see it. There is more flat spot on this side than on this side, so it's offset, so I need to put it in the same way as I took it out. But before putting it in, I'm going to remove the bottom end and replace the bearing shells. And a tip before fitting it is to put some rubber hoses on the thread down here, just to avoid scratching the journal, because that's pretty easy to do once it gets down there, just like that. But still be careful. And then I'm just going to lube up the assembly, especially the rings, and also the bore. And then just slide it down there. And then I need a piston ring compressor. And then I like to use the backside of a hammer to just gently tap it down there. There we go. It's in. And then I can just, yeah, I could have cleaned it up a bit better, but it's it's a quick rebuild, remember. And then just push it all the way until the bearing seats down there. Just holding onto it. It is really not supposed to just slide out, but you never know. But the friction from the piston ring should keep it in place. And it does, so that's fine. And take off the rubber. Safety, use rubber. Like that. And then let's just tighten that up. And then I'm going to do exactly the same as I did on the others, on the crankshaft journals, to check the clearance, but I'm not gonna record it because it's just the same as before. Oh, it's been so super smooth. It's really satisfying. So this is all for tonight. Now the pistons are in, the new crankshaft is in, and tomorrow I'm gonna continue on putting on the cylinder head and all the timing chain components and stuff like that. And I really need to remember to install the oil pump, of course. But progress is made. The rest of it is just putting stuff back together, really. Of course, the head gasket is also something that, if you know my channel, can go wrong from time to time. You never know how good the threads are in there, but I think it will be all right. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.